Okay, we are recording.
1 + 1 don't equal 3.
That was a slow down version.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little sluggish this morning.
The sluggish, ruggish bone.
The sluggish, ruggish bone. Got in late last night.
Yes. So we're recording on Sunday. We're home now.
Got in late, and I'm tired. Even though we slept until 10 o'clock, which I have not slept until 10 o'clock since, I don't know, before we had kids, maybe. Honestly, I don't sleep in on vacation. I mean, when was the last time I slept until 10 o'clock? I don't.
All the time.
But the night before, we'll get there. The night before, we were on the cruise ship, and one of our kids was vomiting. And so I was up most of that night, and then a long travel day. And I didn't go to sleep till about 2 o'clock.
So our last recording was Wednesday.
Correct. The cruise was starting to turn around.
Yes.
Which was great.
Yes.
I am in the cruise Facebook group. I'm an active member of our cruise Facebook group. So many people are not pleased with how the cruise went down.
So there's several, right? So there's 2 different Facebook groups, and there's a WhatsApp group. And I would say that I feel like we have cruised, but we're not like quote unquote cruise people. The distinction would be like, if you look in this WhatsApp group, right, there is interesting how people can just create like these communities so quickly, and they're like, I can't even keep up with the WhatsApp chat. It's just back and forth. It's like,
well, and there are people. Go ahead.
And there's there's a subculture of cruise people within Disney, because there's this. I don't know if we talk about the whole pixie dusting, where like you can essentially bring like people decorate their doors on cruise ship, especially for Disney, and people just bring extra crap to like put on other people's doors. And
they like put out bags, like homemade bags to like.
Yeah, you can come by and grab
it's
stuff.
It's not called pixie dusting. What do they call it?
I think it's like pixie dusting.
I thought it was.
And then you can also. So they would like pass each other's like room numbers and be like, hey, I would love if someone could pixie dust my room. Here's my room number. And they're just giving strangers like their room numbers to come by and like do stuff on their doors. Yeah. And there's also like, hey, if you see me around, like come say hi to me. I'll pixie dust you.
This one woman just walked up and gave our girls light up Minnie Mouse rings. It's actually very sweet. People like to be nice. Honestly, here's the thing. And again, like the Facebook group, I think I was not being too much. Many people are like, this is a one and done, and this ship was not a good experience.
There's both. I've also seen people in the WhatsApp. Like,
yeah,
I've already got
there's
my
the people like you that refuse to acknowledge reality because they're so Disney tryhards. Like most people were like, actually, it was a little disappointing.
I wouldn't say most people.
No, I would say, except for the people that were like, how dare you say anything
most people
terrible?
in your little Facebook group. I wouldn't say most.
What I would say is that this is going to be bad. No, I think I can say this.
It's going to be judgmental.
The clientele on the Disney cruise ship was perfection. And I will tell you why. It's not just because like the people that were on the cruise ship, the people there. And there's 2 reasons, I think.
Like
Number
the passengers
one,
or like,
it's like it's fancy, so you get fancier people. But the second thing is Disney people are like happy freaking people. Do you know what I mean? Like the people that want to go on a Disney cruise are people that like to like hang out with fake characters. Do you know what I mean? So like in general, it was a pleasant experience across the board. Our kids met nice friends. Everybody was nice to each other in the hallways. Like you said, there's like this whole group subculture of people that just want to give people stuff the whole cruise long.
Well, I think on that setting, lovely. I think you have a lot of families because like I mentioned before, a Disney cruise is a 99% is families. It's people with married multiple kids. A lot of multi-generation, a lot of people bring in their grandparents. So I think there's a lot of people who are in the similar boat of like kids freaking out, kids crashing out, just issues. So I think we all kind of gave each other some grace to know that, hey, we're all in the same boat, or we know what it's like because we've had like little kids. Yeah. So I think that's helpful. Is like there's no judgment of like, yeah, we're all in the same boat. We're all in this together. There were
some screamers, like children that just screamed in the restaurant. And like nobody cares. Like if your kid's melting down, and so you have that, right? Like you have young families, and it's usually so stressful, and there's no judgment, which is awesome. That's I think why I love Disney in the first place.
Which is different than like Carnival Road Trip because they are legit adults who are there for their actual vacation, like married couples, older couples with no kids or kids are older. They're like there for their trip. Right. So there is, and then some some side eye. There's probably some judgment there because I want this to be an adult trip.
But then you also have like the older people on the Disney cruise that are like remembering their kids when they were little. So it's a pleasant experience. It was a pleasant clientele. Is what I would say. Like, I do not know the word clientele.
I wouldn't use the word clientele.
That's people that are purchasing. It's like who's gathering.
But we're not. But we're amongst. Like I would say,
I know we're clientele. Yes,
fellow
like
passengers,
the people that are there were great.
Families.
So that was a huge pro. Still hardcore standing with the fact that a Disney's a one and done for me. For the cost, the cruise itself was fine. It was fun. It was not my favorite cruise that we've taken, and it was ridiculously priced. However, the cleanliness of the ship is something that will be hard for me to go back to other ships because the pristine nature of how Disney does their rooms, their turn downs, the crisp sheets, like all of that is magical. And that's what you're paying for, right? The theming. I mean, we already talked about this. We don't have to have the same conversation we had Wednesday, but I don't think we'll do it again. You agree with that?
That's because our kids are older now. Yeah. Like if we came back, because we're not like some people do multiple of these in a year. I think I'm a once a year. A cruise to me is a very decadent. It's like having like a very sweet piece of dessert where I can have this once, but like I can't do this a lot.
It's like, crazy when people are like, I have 4 or 5 booked this year.
They're like, oh, I got my next one booked for like July. It's like
Aaron hung out with this kid that was like, I've been on 22 Disney cruises. Now that said, I will say there is something different about being a family our size and traveling. Like I it's just a whole different ballgame.
But to me, as a kid's age, I think having Disney is not a teen. I would say teens are fine, but if all your kids, if all your kids are teens, that's different. But our youngest is going to be 9 this year, so I think we have another year or 2 of her innocence. So I think that was.
She told me, she was like, I said something about meeting a character. She's like, Mom, I know that they're real people in those outfits. I'm like, no, I know. This morning, for better or for worse, judge away or think we're awesome, I fully check our kids' phones all the time, right? And so this morning, we did kind of leave Aaron with his phone. He didn't have to turn it in at nighttime because he couldn't go on websites there. We didn't have the Wi-Fi package. So he kept his phone. So this morning I went through our oldest phone and it was just mostly, there was a couple things I had to talk to him about, but it was just good, clean fun. Like I like that him and his little friends met up on the top deck every night in their dress up clothes and took a picture of their whole group. It was like, I think that's the best part for him. We don't make room for our kids' social lives. And we've spoken extensively on this podcast that our kids, I think because some of the choices we made don't have, and because of where we live and because of the private school thing, they don't have a group of friends like that they hang out with outside of school. And so to have a friend group on this cruise was really cool for Aaron.
Well, and freedom, like that's.
Yeah. And John Paul. And freedom,
Well, that's for cruises. That's what they like them because there's a sense of freedom they have because they're on a boat. So I think we also get a break from each other because we're pretty together a lot of times. So to me, it's hey, the kids can just roam around the boat.
It's developmentally appropriate, but I hate it.
They can roam around the boat all day long. Like we would meet up once or twice throughout the day.
I mean, little Aaron, we saw
just roam around the boat with their friends. Right. To me, it's like an early bit of like innocence of freedom from a preteen and a teenager.
Yeah, Aaron and John Paul we saw at dinner, and then quick check-ins, at lunch they'd stop by our table.
To me, that's fine though.
I know, no, I'm not saying it isn't. I think it's really cool for them. I think that's why they like cruises so much. I think that it's fun for them, and so it was cute. It was a good cruise. Food was better and not better than Royal Caribbean Carnival. The dining rooms were better. I think the food was better.
Much better theming wise. They had the best.
But the dinner experiences took forever. They were like 2 hours. So the last night we decided not even to go to one. And then, but like the lunch vibe wasn't any better than either of the other 2 ships, and neither was the breakfast. Like I didn't think. I thought the dinners were fine, but room service was awesome. Being able to order room service 24 hours was awesome.
And not having to pay.
And not having to pay. Yeah, it's included. The boat did not have as much to do as other boats, which for us, actually, even little Aaron said, because we talked a lot about yesterday on our way home, like, what do you guys like, what you didn't like? The smaller boat was actually nicer in some ways.
Yes, that's why I've said that before.
Yeah.
Royal, they flaunt, we have the biggest boat, but when you have the biggest boat, it's a lot of Do I really feel like walking on the other side of the ship for that? No, I'm good.
Right.
Or you feel like there's areas you haven't. You feel bad. You're like, well, I didn't go over there this week. Or I didn't do as much there. I thought I would.
Right. So the kids said that they liked the smaller boat, but at the same time, in the same breath, they were like, yeah, but it stunk to not have like all the water slides and the basketball courts, because Disney only had a half basketball court. I mean, they didn't have a lot to do, to be honest.
They did for the younger.
Not really, actually. I told you on the last night.
They had stuff.
I'm sorry. The Ocean, yes, the kid club was next level. Malia, the last night, she said she was going there for like an hour. She was there for like 5 hours. For our daughter Malia to choose to hang out, not with us.
But even John Paul's, I think it's the above 14-year-old crowd. Like, but I think that's also that's not their core demographic.
No, but like at the same time, I said
like
to you,
11 through 14, the Edge Club. Like, remember they were just hanging out in that club throughout the day.
No, the clubs, the kid clubs are better. I'm talking about the stuff on the boat. When I walked by the splash pad on this boat, I was like shocked at how stupid it was compared to Carnival Celebration and Royal Caribbean. Their splash pads and like water play areas for like, let's say the under 4s were like 4 times the size with 10 times more stuff. This was like a baby zone, like a mall play area. And so I'm just surprised Disney doesn't do better with that. But then if you do, and like Royal and Celebration, definitely Royal Caribbean, had like 5 or 6 water slides. Disney had 1. And so, but at the same time, if you have all these things, then you have to have a huge boat. And we say that we like the small boat. This I was talking to little Aaron about. We like the small boat, but then that's why you don't have the things like the basketball courts and the rock climbing wall and the slides.
You got to put that stuff
It's got to go somewhere. And so it'll be interesting. I'd like to do, I think our next one, if we do another cruise, which we'll talk about future plans, I'm sure. We're talking about a cruise to Alaska. I think Royal Caribbean is the way to go for that. So,
we said it before. I think what Carnival had, we've done all 3. We did Royal Caribbean 2024. We did Carnival last year, 2025. Now we've done Disney Cruise 2026. So we are officially cruise experts.
Yes.
We should start our own travel advisory.
We should.
Wilkerson Travel Adventures.
Yes.
So wilkersontraveladventures@gmail.com. I just created in my head right now. So we will book your family vacation. Let us know. So only cruises. So of the 3, I would say the only thing Carnival has, the other 2, because people are going to ask us our opinion. So Carnival has, in my opinion, the other 2 beat in terms of the grab and go food options.
Correct.
Like they had Shaq's Big Chicken. They had Guys.
Burger.
What the heck that thing was. Remember they had the Mexican thing. They had like that other stuff you had to pay for. So Carnival had a much nicer like grab and go.
They did grab and go. Yeah, option. Like the quick service
like
options.
Joey ate chicken. Those kids had so many
Shaq's
burgers last year. So I would say if you can take Carnival that and put it on, like you can take that from Carnival, put on Royal Caribbean. I would put Royal Caribbean ahead. But I think each of them has their perks. Like there's no like quote unquote best one. I think each of them have things that are better than the other ones. It really just depends on what you're trying to do.
Yeah, and I feel like at this point we can kind of speak to like what you're trying to do, which one would be best. Like it's so funny. People on like the Detroit Catholic Moms Facebook page will often post about Catholic schools if they're moving in the area and like which Catholic school should I send my kid to.
We always say it depends.
I have a really long like email now that I'll like copy and paste to people where I kind of say like, here's where you want to go if you want a conservative school. Here's where you want to go if you want a more mixed school. Here's where you go if you want a smaller school. Here's where you go. Like, so it's like depending on what you want. But I can answer if you tell me what you want. Like
you like a lot of ethnicity.
So it's not like choose whichever. Like it's not they're all equal. It depends on what you want. For our family, I think where we will go if we do another would be Royal Caribbean. Because I told you I'm not doing Carnival again. That's a hard no for me. So that's a hard no. And the reason I say that is because I'm soured about how John Paul was treated on that boat. Like I just didn't like it. I felt like, the grab and go options were good, but the rest of the food was kind of gross.
I remember
the ships. It was dirty. I mean, it was a dirty ship. Like,
I don't remember that.
Yeah. So like, I don't need to do Carnival again, even though we were in that beautiful suite.
Well, Carnival had, I think, like more pool. Like they had a lot of pool out. Remember in the back of the boat, past that barbecue place.
Yeah, but they were always so full. Well, and I said this to you.
Cruises are full. I don't understand. Like
what made Carnival Celebration for us was the suite. If we were in a regular room on that ship. First of all, the rooms are so small on Carnival ships. If we were in a regular room on Carnival Celebration, you would absolutely never want to go on Carnival again. But we were able to be on a suite that was like next level. So
yeah, we were Carnival fancy.
That's we were Carnival fancy. But even Carnival fancy, I think, first of all, I would take Disney over Carnival fancy because I love the pristine nature of things, and I've become really bougie in my travel experiences.
Yeah, I've become bougie.
So, Celebration. Oh, we did not even tell. I'm sorry. Lookout Key was my favorite part of the trip. Best island I've been to. Best. Yeah. I actually think that was one of the top 10 vacation experiences we've had is that day. You don't like beaches, so you don't actually feel the same way. You were kind of cranky that day, actually.
No, I wasn't.
You were disengaged, is what I would say.
Oh my gosh.
Would you say you were a little disengaged?
No, I just feel like we're different. Like you feel sometimes like if there's like quiet space, like someone has to be taking quiet space with talking.
Okay, so if I'm just sitting there,
like, if I'm just sitting there, like looking at the ocean, like taking it all in, you're like, well, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you talking? Like, can I just be quiet?
So while Aaron was taking quiet space, myself and the kids were all playing in the water the whole time. The kids were climbing these cliffs, which were beautiful. They had the splash pit area, which had drums, and the boys are actually like really good at little drumming. So they had fun with that. I just thought that island was spectacular. And
that's not like the main Disney like island. Right. That was like a backup because it wasn't an itinerary to go to like their main Castaway Cay. Where I get them all confused.
I have never been in more beautiful water in my life, and I love water. So you don't care about water. Like the water, I was to it was like my shoulders, like and I could see my toes.
Caribbean blue water.
Yeah, I mean, and the sand was so smooth, you weren't stepping on anything. And then, like I said, the walk down the beach was like magical. It was a really, really good experience. Their island was the coolest. And by the way, again, like Carnival's Island, they talk it up, right? And it was fun, but it was super crowded. It was
it was a new. I used the word. It was a new. So they had like this tiny beach, but it was like right when you walked on from just like where the dock was,
and there's rocks everywhere, so you couldn't really walk on it out on the beach. And then Royals was fine, but really crowded. If you remember, like it was all chairs and people. Like
it was a huge. No, Royal was huge. Like you had to take a tram all the way to the other side to get to the beach. And then they had the adults beach. Like it was just, and they had the water park. It was huge.
The word that I
would say it was reasonably sized. Lookout Cay.
The way that I described it, which you guys made fun of me, I think it made sense, is that Celebration Key and Coco Cay, which are the Royal and Carnival's islands, they're like synthetic. It's like being at Disney World. Like Disney World, when you go to Epcot, you get to walk around the world and you're not actually in countries, but it's like, oh, look, you're in Canada, you're in Norway. And like for you
get Aaron, a hint of culture.
You're like, taste. I would rather be in fake Italy than real Italy at Epcot. So I would say those other two. Yes. Right. So I would say those other two islands are like that. It's like, it's like play pretend island life. Whereas Lookout Key is just like beautiful beach. There wasn't a lot to do. And it wasn't like oversaturated with chairs and umbrellas. Like there were chairs and umbrellas, but it felt like you were at a real like beach, not a fake experience of being on an island. So I loved that part of the trip.
Did we talk about Nassau?
No, because it rained all day.
Did we talk about it on the podcast?
We were recording while we were at Nassau and it was raining.
Yeah.
So we didn't get off.
It is funny with you and your clientele. People get very complaining.
I think we did talk about this. No, Aaron.
I'm saying in terms of like, I think when you sign up for certain things,
Aaron's really going to trigger me here, guys. Go ahead.
It's not a Disney thing. It's just in general. It's just people thing. It's observation about people. So when you sign up for something, it's pretty clear that as you get up to the date, everything's in final, everything's locked down. If there's like random acts of God or a tornado, like, you can try to, but there's like this, well, they should have canceled this should have got refunded. Like this is terrible. This is terrible. So to me, it's yes, I get that happen. But when you sign up for these experiences and these excursions, like that's also in the fine print of unless there is a massive tornado Like they're not can't like these things are going to go on.
Okay, so my perspective is a little different than yours, and that is that
you're one of them.
Disney.
It's not a Disney thing though. This happens. Go ahead.
Thanks. Disney will say, book your excursions with us because if anything happens, we'll take care of you. So don't go on the island of Nassau and do a private excursion because then you have no control. If you're late, if the weather, blah, 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 like don't book your excursions with them, book them with us. And then if you book any excursions, by the way, you've never heard Aaron and I talk about excursions because they're profuse amounts of money, like $250 a person. So if I'm booking an excursion to go to Atlantis for the day to swim with dolphins, and I have paid $250 for my entire family. So I'm at $1,000 for this day in Atlantis. And it is clearly supposed to rain all day. And you're Disney and you know it is supposed to rain all day. You will not be able to do this excursion. And Disney buses people out to this excursion. And by the way, they did give them all refunds. So you're wrong.
That was also mixed news. Some people were saying they did. Some people were saying they didn't.
For the Disney excursions, if you did not get to do them, you got a refund because of weather. But the people's points were, you shouldn't have ever even taken us out there because we wasted an entire day. They took a bus out to these places and then found out after waiting for 2.5 hours to see if the weather would clear that they just had to get back on that bus and come back to the ship. So they didn't lose money because Disney refunded them, but they lost an entire day. So yeah, people were mad. They were like, we paid a lot of money. Disney knew it was going to be raining. Why not just cancel?
Because there's 2 points, right? So one was the weather was mixed, right? It rained. It would clear up for a little bit. It would rain again.
Not Nassau. It rained the whole day.
No, it didn't. It cleared up throughout parts of the day, which is why some people were like, "Oh, never mind." But the part was that in many cases, Disney doesn't own any of these excursions places. They contract with these different places. So these places are like, "Hey, you guys paid us, and if the weather is not like throwing the lightning throughout the day, like we can still have these." It's just, but it's not about that. It's just an interesting thing around. Like this instant life, they just can't. Like a lot of the time, these companies can't. Like they take a loss on that if they cancel all these things, and all of a sudden the weather gets better. Then everyone's like, "Well, why do we cancel this? We could have did this." It's just It
is crazy to me. I'll rephrase so that we can keep things pleasant. Disney
being very defensive about this.
Disney wants to make. Thing. Yes, it was a Disney thing. These were Disney excursions. Disney wants to make a profuse amount of money, and they actually don't care about your experience. And when people understand that like this is a money-making thing, it's not about wanting to just make you happy for the sake of making you happy. They're frustrated. They're frustrated when they pay a lot of money. Frustrated. And people were very frustrated that Disney didn't cancel their excursions on a day where it poured all day long and everything got canceled because people wasted a whole day sitting in line just to find out, no, it's rained out. And that would bum me out if we had. Now we don't do excursions because we can't afford them. So it doesn't have to bum us out. But if I was losing, $2,000 if our whole family was signed up to ride the water slides in Atlantis, but they didn't lose the money. They weren't sure Disney was going to refund them. That's what they were concerned about. And to your point, Disney did refund them.
In some cases, anything with WhatsApp, there was very mixed. Some people were like,
the people that were not refunded is if they went out to the excursion and they ate the meal and then didn't get to do the second half of the excursion. Disney was like, well, you ate the meal and I'm not paying for that. So that's what people were upset about on the WhatsApp. But anyway, it was, I understand people being mad. You act like you don't understand that. Like that's crazy. I said, thank God we didn't, because I really wanted to go to Atlantis. I have always wanted to go to Atlantis, but we really could not afford it because we were tapped out with this trip. And so
talk about synthetic though. I mean, that's
yeah, but I would have been so sad to have paid that kind of money. And then, but again, they refunded. So, but they didn't know they were going to refund when everybody was complaining on the WhatsApp. They thought they weren't going to be refunded. And you act like they don't have a reason to be upset about that.
I'm just saying, like, when you get to the day of, there's no guarantees that you will get a refund and cancellation. That is just like
I feel like you haven't read up on these. I feel like you haven't read up on these excursions because Disney's whole point is if you book with us, you will get refunds. Yeah. If you go on Nassau's Island and book individually, it'll be cheaper, but we can't guarantee your experience. And so I don't know. Yeah.
That's not what I mean, but we can move on. Anyway, so
people are right to be sad when they expect an experience and they're paying top dollar for it. And you feel like that's not true. And I think fundamentally on this trip, that's where you and I did not agree.
I feel that there is we're talking two different things. I'm talking about when you sign up for a lot of things, when you get to the day of, like, there is no guarantees that in many cases, like, cancellations will happen and you'll get refunded. Like when you go to different concerts, sometimes not guaranteed. Like sometimes these things are a crapshoot when you get to the day of. Like you hope that it works out for the best, but that's the gamble that you take in terms of like, oh crap, I may not get my money back. But sometimes it's a foregone conclusion that I should get something back for everything. It's like it's a gamble, man.
Yeah. So anyway, Pirate Night was fine. There were fireworks, but unfortunately,
a lot of people were dressed up for Pirate Night.
Yes, a lot of people went next level. You and I are rookies, so I was kind of bummed about the fireworks because we decided to stand on like the main deck, and so their Disney like the slide was in the way. It was like broken up, and so I think it would have been far more magical if we just stood on the other side of the slide. But we had there's no way you can know that unless you've been on the ship before. But it was nice. That was fun, right? The girls didn't like the fireworks. They were plugging their ears and crying.
Yeah, they're not a huge fireworks fan.
But fireworks at sea, I mean, to be like, oh my gosh, we're in the ocean watching a fireworks show right now. Like, it's crazy.
They're the only cruise line that does fireworks.
Yeah. It's
they're
fun.
not a fireworks fan. That's why we've never gone to the Detroit fireworks.
Yeah. So then the last night, we had big plans. It was going to be a really magical night. And then I felt bad. Our daughter, Julia, kept saying, like, from 4:00 on, my stomach really hurts. My stomach really hurts. I'm like, stop, you're fine. Like, because our kids will do this thing with anxiety where they'll be like, my stomach hurts if they're nervous about something. And I know people have different methods, but I'm always like, take a deep breath, take 10 deep breaths, you're fine. Like, we don't stop our lives because you're nervous. So I thought it was a nervous stomach ache. Turns out, you brought her back to the room and she threw up.
Yeah, you were like off in the spa.
Yes. Chilling. And then I stayed with her because she threw up, and you went to a show with the kids and she threw up again, but this time all over her bed and herself, which is an interesting experience to be in a cruise cabin with a kid vomiting. Let's say that's a first for us. And then she threw up again and again. And so we were up most of the night with her throwing up. I was worried it was actually sickness, but it was hard to tell if she had a fever because she was sunburned. So I kept feeling her. She was really hot, but I think it was her sunburn because
I think it was just eating like crap all
week. I think you're right, but I wasn't sure.
Because that's the hard part too, is it does break their normal eating patterns because you're also eating like 3 full meal. Like a lot of times you're eating 3 full meal. Because at home, you're lucky if they eat breakfast. They may skip breakfast or eat like a granola bar. But here, like you're eating like 3 full meals. And also in between meals, they're eating like ice cream. They're eating a lot. I mean, they were eating donuts almost every day. So I think it was just eating like crap throughout. And also remember, the trip started the previous Thursday. So even before they got on the cruise, they were kind of eating like crap for a week. So I think with her, it's just, she just couldn't, her tiny body couldn't take all the food of like fried foods, eating chicken fingers every day and drinking Coke. So I think it was just a reaction from just eating just kind of crap food for the entire week, and it finally caught. Even like that last day, even I was like, I don't need to. I think I even skipped breakfast or skip lunch. Like eat much lighter, but I think it's just all caught up with her.
Yeah, I don't feel like I eat like crap on the cruise. In fact, I feel like I eat better on the cruise.
No, the kids, they were eating like ice cream like twice, 3 times a day.
No, the kids with ice cream. And then I was kind of a jerk. I actually felt bad. I can be such a jerk sometimes because Julia, when she first threw up, this is before I knew she was going to be sick all night. I'm like, I've told you all week not to have 3 or 4 ice creams a day.
Well, because in most cases, when our kids do get sick like that, remember like John Paul for basketball, he got sick one time and that was it. So most of the time they throw up one time and then they're done.
Yeah.
But her, it happened repeatedly. So yeah, I think it was just the food and just catching up with you by day 7 or 8 being away from home.
But then no, because then she was up all night. It's just made for a really long night. And then we had to get up and get off the cruise ship. And it was like, is she going to throw up? So she had a puke bag with her all day, but she was fine during the day. And then we had a disaster at the airport that we actually will not talk about on this podcast.
So parents know things that can happen.
Things that can happen when kids aren't feeling well at airports.
And having to buy some extra clothes last second at the...
Correct. Because I packed clean. I'm so good, guys. I always pack clean clothes because ever since our kids were little, you just know things can happen. And of course, I put them in the checked luggage. And so then I'm in the bed. We just won't, again, I'm going to talk about it without giving too many details, but you ended up having to go to the store for extra outfits, like the store, meaning like the Hudson, like
at the airport,
the souvenir shop at the airport. And the airport was a hard experience. Should I talk about how upset I am about the airport? airplane, or do you think it's so ridiculous that I shouldn't?
Yeah, we might as well. You brought it up, but
okay.
I will give Disney credit too about the laundry room.
Like, praise God! Yeah, let's talk about that.
That's a profit. I was thinking about that too. How much money they make on that thing? It's not
on other cruise ships.
It's a profit center they have to be making, because they had about a good 50. I think it was 26 washers. It's 52 total. 26 washers.
So you can do laundry
dryers.
The whole time.
So you can do laundry.
And it's not like $1 billion. It is, I think, it's
like going to a laundromat. Like it's actually slightly cheaper than laundromat prices.
Yeah. And so we were able to do laundry a couple different times, which is nice, because I think I did say this. Everybody's like, don't overpack for the cruise. I actually feel like we have to pack for the cruise in a way we don't have to for anything else, because you need swimsuits, you need play clothes or change of clothes when the boys are playing basketball all day long. And then you need dress clothes. That's 3 outfits a day. And then it's jammies. Like it was actually, you have to pack a lot of clothes. So to be able to do laundry was awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And it was full. You got a little emotional because there's people who run, because the laundry is like it's like on the 8th floor. Like it's a huge boat. So they have one laundry room. So you have people who will put a load in and just like, the laundry is almost like, it was like 50 minutes, 45 minutes. So you have people that wouldn't necessarily watch the clock, so they have laundry just sitting there, and they're all full. I mean, you have 26 washers on a boat of 4,000 people, so they would get full pretty quickly, and people just kind of leave it there, and you'll have filled up washing machines, and everyone's waiting in lines for someone to show up and get their crap out. I was surprised no one just like took and just dumped it out on a table. And
we were mad on the last day. On the last day, you should know everybody's trying to do laundry. So if you're leaving your thing in there for an hour, you're just rude. So then we get to the airport. We had the drama with the airport. I was already like stressed out because of the situation at the airport. And then they call us on, and I just want to say this before we start so that Aaron and I don't have to fight about this. You are the most chill person in the world. And I actually wish I was more like you. So I'm acknowledging that I have a problem, that you are more saintly and holy than me. You let things go. You don't let things like grind at you. And I think that's so good. And I actually love that about you. So what I'm about to say, it is important to note that you were not upset about it at all.
Well, for me, things I care about, things I don't care about.
Right.
So
for me, I could not get over what occurred at the airport. So we're sitting there with all of our luggage. We always check our luggage. So it doesn't matter. They call our name on the loudspeaker, right? Can the Wilkerson family come up to the counter? And I'm like, wild, right? So did we do something wrong with paperwork? We walk up to the counter, and this guy is like, Aaron had an aisle seat. The way we sit on the plane is we do 6 seats across, and then you sit on an aisle seat. And the reason it's important to me that you sit on an aisle seat in a separate row,
so either behind us, row of 6, and then we have an extra that I sit
right, either behind us or in front of us. And honestly, I don't like takeoff or landing. I always reach in and hold your hand. I squeeze. It makes me calm. I don't mind flying. Those are the 2 things I hate, right? So like we do this on purpose. My husband, who's a responsible man, gets up and like gets our seats every time we fly. I walk on like a passenger princess, but like we do things to be able to sit this way because we're a family of 7. So they call us up to the counter, and the guy's like, listen, there's a family that wants to sit together. The only way to have this work is if one of your seats, instead of sitting on the aisle, ends up sitting by the window, right? So like, would you be willing to, instead of sitting on the aisle, sit by the window, the person that's in that odd seat? So 6 of us together, and then that person.
Which to be clear, I'm fine. Like I don't mind.
You
like,
don't mind.
I usually sit in the aisle seat. Window seats are fine. I don't really care about window. As long as it's not the middle. Like I don't sit in the middle.
But to be clear to you, I like you sitting on the aisle. I like your accessibility to our family. I don't like you at the window, right? I understand I'm a nutcase. Aaron, of course, is like the best person in the world. Without even thinking, you're like, yeah, it's fine. Put me at a window, right? Like for a family to be able to sit together, absolutely, right? So, and I'm like, yeah, you're such a great. I mean, as we're walking the plane, I'm like, that was so nice of you, honey. Like, you're so great. I'm imagining what we're about to walk into is a family that has little kids and needs to sit together. So Aaron sits in front of me by the window, and I see 2 grown men sit next to you. And I'm like, well, this isn't kids. Then I look across to where the family is sitting, and it is a mom with her huge Louis Vuitton bag with the Louis Vuitton wallet. I don't mean to stereotype. I'm actually going to keep the most uncharitable thoughts to myself.
But just cancel with your racism.
I will say it's the most like, I'm not even going to say that because it's not Christian. I'm just going to say if you had to stereotype
Which city in Metro Detroit area would you say?
I would say 100%.
West Bloomfield?
Not West Bloomfield, because then you're implying Arabic, and I'm not implying Arabic. I'm saying Berkeley, or I'm saying Berkeley, or I almost said the parish that they all go to. I'm not going to. These are fancy people.
You're not Birmingham. You're talking about Bloomfield Hills. Up Telegraph, Bloomfield.
I think if we were to say Bloomfield Hills, people would think that I'm talking about like a Lebanese, not a Lebanese,
Chaldean.
Chaldean. I'm not. They weren't a Chaldean family. I would just see West Bloomfield, right? So Bloomfield Hills, Berkeley, yes. Franklin, that type of family. It is a mother with a diamond so big on her ring, like a hand, whatever. And her son is 15, the one by the window, sitting in front of my son, Aaron, and then a 10-year-old, right? Her son then, of course, leans back his seat. So now Aaron, little Aaron, is sitting with the seat back. You're allowed to do it. It's obnoxious. Nobody does it unless you're entitled. Then, ladies and gentlemen, her husband is sitting the row in front of her on the aisle. And I, the entire flight long, could not let it go. Could not let go that I was called on the loudspeaker by Delta to move my family's seats so that this family with the husband
my seat
could sit on the aisle while my husband was squished against a window, not holding my hand for landing and pickup. You, zero cared. Every time I looked at this family, I was filled with a rage unknown to mankind. And you don't care. You're like, it's fine. Let me tell you, guys, I really cared. So I'm squishing John Paul's hand because I have to hold someone's hand. And John Paul's like, you squeeze really tight. But that made me grumpy. You were zero grumpy about it. But you do agree it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, had I known that was the situation,
you would have said no.
I thought
yes.
It was like
we thought it was toddlers.
Well, also because like like when I book flights,
you're responsible. And that's what I said. Oh, I sent a very uncharitable message to my husband where I was like, this dude is sitting on the aisle because he doesn't know how to book a flight. Like, and you're sitting squished against a window.
Maybe they book last because I booked.
Oh man, I was so mad.
Even like when because also sometimes it gets messed up when they change flights on you, the seats don't get adjusted. So every time I get email on flights, I have to double check all the seats because sometimes they throw us.
Great, Aaron does it.
They throw us in weird places. So
right, and I love that you do that.
Assignments all the time.
But then there's certain people in the world that feel like they don't have to do it because all they'll do is go to the gate agent and say, "Well, we want our family to sit together." And I was really upset about that. We got home 1 a.m, and then went to bed.
Yeah.
Overall, what would you rate this trip?
Well, we're talking about just the cruise. Remember, also for the people, this trip started on Good Friday with our pre-trip.
Yeah. The people
so are you talking the full trip or just the cruise portion?
Whole trip.
I feel like it was a B+. I'll give it B+. I think the shenanigans with the first day kind of cut the first day of the cruise.
Yeah,
this is a 5-nighter. We've done 2 straight 7-nighters, which actually I don't mind the 5-nighter. So you don't agree with it.
Yeah, no.
I don't mind the 5-nighter, but I think the first day got cut short because of not getting on the boat until 4:00.
So you're going to be surprised, hon, but I'm going to give this. I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10 because I think the first day was so miserable. But it was balanced.
That's the grade down.
But it was balanced out by Lookout Cay, which was Lookout Lighthouse. It's called Lighthouse Point, or so I don't know what it's called. Lookout Lighthouse Cay, whatever. That was one of the better days of travel I've ever had with you. So I felt like the week itself was really good. I think our kids loved it. It was good. It was really good, and I appreciate all that you do logistically to make these things happen.
A lot of moving pieces. But you did good with I would say the packing because you take care of all the packing and the clothes.
Yeah.
I pack my own clothes just because I've learned the hard way about that. Yeah, you did well with getting all the clothes and the outfits. I
have a hot take. I'm actually kind of enjoying too this time unpacking. I always enjoy packing. I actually consider it to be part of the experience. But this time unpacking is kind of fun because I know that we'll be packing again soon to go to my Ocean Isle.
Can you tell me how screwed you are for Ocean Isle?
No, I don't think so. You think so. I don't. So Aaron's concern is now, so my favorite vacation that we've taken together, 3 times. This will be our 4th time with kids twice.
We haven't done it in like 3 years.
We haven't done it in 3 years. Is a week's vacation in a place called Ocean Isle, North Carolina. It is right on the ocean. The condo that we get is right on the ocean. Like you sit on your balcony and you just stare at the ocean. So it's kind of like a cruise ship in that way. Big waves, lots of beautiful sounds, smells like ocean. And we just stay the week there. It's a very I always describe it's a sleepy beach town. There's not a lot to do. There's a mini golf course. There's one restaurant.
There's an arcade.
There's a pier that you have to pay to walk on. So we've never done it. Maybe we'll pay to walk on the pier this year. It's like $2 a person. But I love this trip. Your concern now is that our kids are going to be like, what the heck? Because there's nothing to do except for ocean fun. But I disagree with you. I think they're going to have a good time. It's different than a cruise, but I think we'll bring card games, and the kids are older so they can like walk the beach by themselves. And I'll be nervous that they're going to die going out deep into the ocean with sharks, because there are sharks there and jellyfish. So don't love that part. I'm really excited to go to the Ocean Isle.
Well, in the water, it's like dirty ocean water, the crazy waves that hit you.
It's not. In the face. It's crazy waves. It is not. It
after
is
like
not
a half hour, the kids like, can we go back to the pool? We do have a private pool
there. Yeah,
on the lot there.
I will say though, the waves are. It's
the kids
not
get
like
worn out. They're like, can we go back to the pool?
The waves are exhausting. You get the crud beat out of you when you're out there. It's fun for boogie boarding. So it's not dirty, but it's sandy because the sand gets picked up.
Dirty. Yeah. It's like brown water and seaweed.
It is not brown water. Oh my gosh. It's not the smooth Caribbean Sea or Caribbean Sea. So then I have a question. When are we booking our next trip? Because here's my concern. If we go to Ocean Isle without our next trip booked, it will be a no trip booked, which would be crazy for us to not have anything booked.
So did we talk? I don't know. We talked about doing our next. Because you'd like to have like 2 or 3 trips booked.
I do. So here's our pipeline right now.
So now, after Ocean Isle, I think we're gonna have a gap until 27.
Are you sure we're not gonna be able to sneak in? We can't do that Disney trip this year. Let's say Carhartt does really well. I'm serious. Let's say Carhartt does really well. Aaron gets a bonus. Let's say Carhartt does really well. Can we keep it alive?
What? Keep what alive?
Keep the Christmas break trip alive until
over New Year's.
Yeah, like
I thought that was for next year, 2027.
No. I'm doing it because I actually, as you're talking, I'm like, this man thinks I'm actually not going to travel from July until April. That's why I know
people know. Like, we did not, and these are first world problems. Like,
I know.
Because we didn't like our last trip as a family was August. It was a cruise of last year, which was the first week of August.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a big gap
for us. I know.
Actually, I went to Florida.
And I went to Nashville with you.
You went to you've done things.
But our family trip. So my question though, can we keep it alive just right now? We don't have to kill it yet.
I am non-committal at all.
I know you're not committal.
I'm extremely non-committal.
But it's alive.
Officially, our next trip won't be until Ocean Isle in 3 months. Then the boys go to camp, and then it won't be until spring break of next year, which you want to go to Rome.
And we have talked before.
We were going.
Some of the people I remember we were going to do Ireland and Paris. We were pretty locked in on that.
We switched to New York City,
but we know that we were going to do Ireland and Paris, and then that's when we realized we could do the Baller Suite on Carnival Celebration. And I was unwilling to hold on to my. I was unwilling to hold on to my European adventure when you waved that presidential suite in front of me. However, I said to you this year, going to Disney again, that next year, because there was a big trip to Rome that our school took over spring break. And I was sad we weren't on that trip, because if we weren't at the Disney cruise, we would have been on that trip. And so you have agreed that spring break 2027 can be Europe.
Rome, not necessarily Europe.
So not Ireland.
Not Ireland.
So
none of us want to go to Ireland except for you. I'm sorry.
Well, nobody wants to go.
I'm sorry to our Irish friends on this podcast.
See, oh my gosh, it's so hard.
Rome, they're okay with. Ireland,
here's the thing. Interest. No, he's not lying. Like you
have to sell it. I'm sorry, you're a terrible salesman when it comes to your half homeland.
No, I'm not even talking about Ireland. I'm talking about Rome. when I said to my kids, next year we're definitely doing Rome, they're like, no, Mom, why? Why, Mom? Why do we have to? Like, this is what I'm. I
think you have to understand your kids' personalities.
6 out of 7 of my family members, I am going to be dragging to Europe next spring because no one wants to go.
No child wants to go.
No, that is entitled kids. Absolutely not. You're crazy. That is entitled kids who have traveled since they're little. I'm not mad at it. It makes sense to me.
I think the thing is, they see it as, and it is more work though. Like it's not they're used to traditional trips where, like the cruise where they just get pampered the whole time and they have to work. Like Rome is work. Like we saw for people, like it's a long travel day to get there. There's jet lag. There's a lot of walking. Like remember so-and-so's post was like,
so what?
There was a lot of walking. So I'm saying to an appeal to a 14-year-old, I can have ice cream and Coke all day long, or I can walk around Italy.
The way it was described by a friend of mine is if you've given kids ice cream and Coke their entire lives, they have no idea what eating a surf and turf lobster and filet mignon is. Of course, they're not going to choose filet mignon and lobster. They're going to say, I'd like the ice cream and the Coke. My kids 1,000,000% have no interest in filet mignon and lobster. And then my husband, by the way, fans. Yeah, it's going to be pretty miserable. I mean, it's not going to be fun. No, this is mommy's trip to Rome. And so, but I can't keep going to Disney for the rest of my life for the same price that I could be spending, actually way less, to show my kids the world. And the amount of tension that's going to come from this because nobody wants to go to Europe except for me. And I am acknowledging that. And I'm acknowledging why. Kids would rather have ice cream and Coke than have filet mignon and lobster. But I'm going to shove the filet down their throat because we are going to Rome in spring. And you're not going to change my mind.
That's fine. I'm not trying to change your mind.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And all of the kids are opposed to this travel plan, just so you know. Just so that people know, not one kid wants to do this.
I just need you to recognize that this is going to be a different type of trip.
I understand.
You need to figure out some strategy how to deal with your crankiness, especially first travel day. Because if you thought standing in line at Disney for an extra 3 hours was bad.
It's different. I understand what I've been to Europe.
I understand you say it's different, but I'm saying that's why we need some different strategies for you.
We actually talked about going with the Divine Child trip because if they do one next year, the altar servers go. I actually don't think I want to go with an organized trip. I actually think that's where we could run into issues and I think it's great that they did it and they did it super cost effectively. But the issues that you come from that is like, that's the holy moly, we just walked 18,000 steps and blah, blah, blah. Because you're trying to move with 30 people.
It's a lot of tours.
Yeah, we can just do our own thing. Again, I'm different in Europe. I don't need to see all the things. I'm fine going in. My favorite day that I remember in Assisi was sitting on a hill outside of a castle with a picnic lunch with my friends. That's the Europe I like. I don't need to do a kabillion things. We'll definitely do a couple of the big things. We'll do one major tourist thing a day. The kids will eat gelato. We'll walk around, sit in cafes. I'm so excited. And by the way, if they hate it, then we won't do it again. But I at least need to try to get our family to do the type of travel I would like to do. Speaking of, and this is, we can talk about this a different day. We don't have time. What are we at?
We're good.
I'm not moving to Florida with you. So Aaron is certain when Julia graduates, he's going to live in Florida for 4 months. I officially do not like Florida. The clientele in Florida are a different species altogether. And I don't want to live in Florida. I don't like lizards. I don't like humidity. I don't want to live in Florida. And so we might be one of those couples that waits till our youngest graduates and then divorces. And then you can go live your life.
It's just a separation.
Yeah, separation. You live your life. I'll live up here.
To be clear, it's not living in Florida. We're not moving anywhere. It's that when it gets to Thanksgiving, from Thanksgiving up until St. Patrick's Day, Michigan is just weather-wise it's miserable.
Oh, before you said it was starting Halloween. It's nice that you've moved. But
I'm acquiescing to your desires. So from Thanksgiving up until St. Patrick's Day, the weather's miserable. Anyone who's ever gone to Florida in December and January in particular, when you see how nice it is down there, you're like, you know what, we should just live down here. So I've said for years that,
but not at the start of our marriage. This is a given, so this is grounds for annulment.
This is a given, though.
Right.
This is going to happen. So when Julia is out of high school in, I think, 8 or 9 years, from at a minimum Thanksgiving up until St. Patrick's Day, we will rent in Florida. Well, we can move around the state. It doesn't have to. I don't have a location in mind. We can move around the state to figure out what the location is, but that is the plan.
When he says we, he means him, because I am not living in Florida for 4 months. Okay. So this is where, like,
so I may just be down there. You can come visit me whenever you want.
Sounds great. I want to acquiesce to your desire. So the reason
we also said New York City. You're forgetting the New York City part. It's not just Florida. We also said that from like Easter through summer, we'll live in New York City for a couple months.
I do think we're going to do something like that. But what I'm saying to you is,
I'm telling you, it's happening. Like, there's very few things I've been very specific about. This is one of those things where, like, this is going
I'm not living in Florida for 4 months.
Okay, then I will be down there and we can FaceTime.
I will 100% live in Florida for January if you want. Like, to me,
February
that's reasonable.
And January and February and December.
For me, that's completely reasonable. I will come and live with you in Florida for January. You know what, honey? I'll even give you January and February. I really will.
December.
If you want, after Christmas on December 26th, if you want to fly to Florida and stay to Florida until March 1st, I will do that with you. I am not living in Florida for 4 months. It is not occurring.
Well, we can explain to the people. This will be our last point. So, the people who have visited Florida, it's funny how
Chris Gowell lives there now, by the way.
Correct.
In that place.
Florida is very different than Michigan in terms we've lived here our entire lives. So this is our basis of living. So yes, when you go to Florida, it is very different. Like the buildings, like it's a lot of very different things about Florida. And for all the nice parts of Florida, there are some rough parts. There are some rough parts of Florida, much like there's rough parts of Michigan, but there are some rough parts of Florida that you're like, I'm glad I don't live here. So I think you lean into the rough parts of Florida that are like, this is an interesting place, interesting part, but we wouldn't live there.
What I will say about Florida, what I have noticed, and maybe we have Florida listeners, so I should be careful. I mean, obviously Chris is one.
But it's not a reflection.
First of all, it's hot. It's humid. The lizard thing and the bug thing.
We'll be gone by now, though.
The bugs and lizards, I can't deal with. And then it's like there's like really expensive areas or like really not. And there's no like in between. Or you're in a vacation spot. The in between is like the vacation spots. And I just don't want to do it. I'll give you January and February. So we'll send you down December 1st, Aaron. Mm-hmm. We'll send you down December 1st to get everything ready, to rent everything, to get it all nice. You'll come back up for Christmas and we'll go together in January. That's fair. I just came up with a compromise. And then I will fly back on February 28th or 9th and you can close up shop until St. Patrick's Day. Look how we just figured out our problem. All right. So we didn't talk, but really quick. Then the other thing we're talking about is Alaska in 2027. So next summer going to Alaska on a cruise. Your mom really wants to do that, and I think that would be really cool to do with your parents. Like, so I think Alaska might happen. I'm more worried about the cost than you are. I think you feel like it's doable. I just don't know if it's doable with Rome.
I don't know. It's a lot of planning that has to take place.
Let's hope Carhartt has a good year, or you go get a raise.
There's a lot of planning that has to take place.
Because I'm not getting a raise as a Catholic school teacher.
No, you're not.
So everything depends on you. All those eggs are in your basket.
So yeah, it's a lot of things we have to figure out of what that's going to look like. And lastly, I'm going to Mexico this week. So
no, you're not.
In theory.
You're not. Because if you are, then you just told the people that I'm home alone and come kill me and the family. Like, what is wrong with you?
We have a 99% female listenership. So I don't think our clientele are people who would come here. And
have you traveled with me working full time for this long, for 4 nights?
Yes.
I guess I'm just really nervous.
When I first started in February, when I first went to Mexico 3 years ago.
Okay. Because it's going to be a little bit, it's going to be interesting because, to be honest, I am married to a man that helps. Like, so in the morning, trying to get all 5 kids out of the house, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. My dad, we can talk about it next time, but he has some major medical stuff occurring this week that I have to help him with because my mom's out of town. So I'm a little nervous about this week. I actually really am. I think it's going to be a really stressful week with you gone. I think it's going to be really
we don't
stressful.
have. I mean, they have lifts, but they can.
They have lifts. They're going to have to miss lifts.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't, because maybe they'll stay at lifts for that ride home.
But that's the only big thing in the morning.
Yeah.
They get themselves.
Yeah, and sometimes,
ready.
to be honest, like life moves a little smoother when Daddy isn't here, because I can, like I don't know.
Scream and holler and shout.
I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I'll just holler and shout. So yeah, you're going to Mexico, which is, I'm sure you're not looking forward to it, to be honest. I can't imagine getting off a plane and being like, well, right back on a plane. What time do you leave tomorrow?
8:40.
At night?
No, in the morning.
Holy moly, you're like gone.
Correct.
Wow. Okay. See you later.
Luckily, like I said, I have not taken.
No, you don't travel a lot.
No,
you don't
travel. I took a conference, but that was a.
Well, and you said, then we said together, like we wouldn't do that. You would not work for a company.
I don't have work trips. I mean, other than the conference, like I went on 2 days. Like last time I was gone for 4 days was 3 years ago when I went to Mexico when I first joined.
And to be clear, in my entitled way of talking, we would do that if we needed to, but we would never choose to have you work in a position where you travel.
Like, yeah, I could absolutely take on a job where I have to travel, but I choose not to do that.
Okay, have a great week, people.
Till next time.
TTYL.